sex offender. You want the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid? Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform.
Point of order.
You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
That is the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, under oath, before the United States Senate. And the question that broke him was not about classified information. It was a yes or no question. Somewhere between that question and that outburst, Kash Patel said the quiet part out loud, and he did not even realize he had done it.
Senator Schiff.
By the time this hearing ended, the chairman would have to tell the FBI director and a sitting senator to both be quiet like children. But the screaming was not the real story. The real story is what Kash Patel said before he lost control. 3 specific words in 3 separate moments that answered the question he kept refusing to answer directly. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what those words were when he said them and why they matter more than anything else that happened in this room. On one side, Senator Adam Schiff of California, former federal prosecutor, former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, armed with Patel's own confirmation hearing transcript and a formal federal complaint filed against him by fired FBI officials. On the other side, FBI Director Kash Patel, who swore to the Senate there would be no politicization, no retribution, not a single agent fired for the investigations they were assigned. He said those words himself under oath to the senators who were about to confirm him. Today was the day someone finally held him to them.
Mr. Patel, during your confirmation hearing, you made several important commitments. For instance, you told Senator Coons there will be no politicization at the FBI. There'll be no retributive actions taken by any FBI should I be confirmed as FBI director. So let me ask you very specifically, did you ever take any action to terminate or discipline an FBI agent or employee in whole or in part as retribution for being part of an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th?
No.
Clean, simple, one word. This is what a man sounds like when the question is easy. But Senator Schiff had not come here for the easy question. He came for the one Patel had no clean answer to.
You also committed, you assured Senator Blumenthal, all FBI employees will be protected against political retribution.
None for political retribution.
And if any FBI agent said you did, they would be lying. Is that your testimony?
I'm only speaking to my actions. Everybody is allowed to make their allegations.
That is the first tell. Schiff asked a binary question. Are those agents lying? Yes or no? Patel did not say yes. He said he is only speaking to his own actions. An innocent man does not retreat from a yes or no question. He answers it. Patel could not. And the reason he could not was about to become very clear.
These are allegations against you. And so, Mr. Patel, if FBI, senior FBI agents or employees said that you were firing them for political retribution reasons because of the cases they were assigned, you're saying they would be lying.
Anyone that was terminated at the FBI was done so for failing to meet the standards, uphold their constitutional oath, and effectuate the mission.
Well, by meet the standards, are you talking about meet the standards of protecting the president under any circumstance?
No.
You can see the evasion forming in real time. Every time Schiff asks about specific case assignments, Patel answers about general standards and oaths. Answer a related question. Sound responsive. Never actually respond. Senator Schiff was a federal prosecutor. He had seen this before, and he was about to do something that changed the entire hearing.
Are you testifying today that you never terminated anyone at the FBI, in whole or in part, because of a prior case assignment?
No one at the FBI is terminated for case assignments alone.
Did you, in whole or in part, terminate anyone at the FBI because they worked on the Trump investigation or because they worked on January 6th?
No one at the FBI has been terminated for case assignments alone.
There it is. The first quiet part moment. The word is alone. He used it twice. Think about what that word does to that sentence. Without alone, the sentence is a denial. With alone, it is a confession. It is saying case assignments were a factor, just not the only factor. Patel did not stumble into that word. He built his answer around it, and Schiff heard it immediately.
Okay, you're saying alone. Does that mean they were terminated in part because they were assigned to a January 6th case or assigned to the Mar-a-Lago case? You're being very precise here, Mr. Patel. You're saying alone. That means they were fired in part because they were assigned those cases. Is that your testimony?
Absolutely not. But if you want to keep putting words in my mouth,
then
go
let
ahead.
me ask you.
He accused Schiff of putting words in his mouth, but no one put that word there. Patel chose it. He repeated it. If it was wrong, he could have corrected it the first time. He did not. He said it again, and now there was no way to take it back. But the second quiet part moment had not arrived yet. That one was even harder to explain.
Let's strip away the word alone. Did you terminate or participate in any discipline of any FBI employee in whole or in part because of their work on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th? Yes or no?
Any terminations at the FBI by employees?
No, I'm asking you a very specific question.
And I'm going to answer the question, but you don't like the answer because it's the truth and it guts
I want
your
an answer to my
narrative.
question. I don't want an answer to someone else's question. So let me just be precise, and I ask for a yes or no answer. Did you ever terminate or discipline an FBI employee in whole or in part because they had been assigned or worked on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th?
FBI employees are only terminated if they fail to uphold their oaths of office and duty.
You're not answering my question.
That is 6 attempts, 6 separate versions of the same question, 6 different non-answers. At this point, a prosecutor does not need anything else. The refusal to answer a yes or no question, when the true answer would be no, is itself an answer. But Patel was about to make it worse.
I don't have to answer your question yes or no because you're setting up a trap so you can have a media narrative.
I'm not setting up a trap,
and I'm not giving it to you.
Unless it's true that you fired people.
That is the second quiet part moment. He called a yes or no question a trap. But a trap only works if the answer is incriminating. If the true answer is simply no, there is no trap. You say no. You move on. Innocent men do not call innocent questions traps. Patel could not call this one easy. So he named it a trap instead, and in naming it that, he told the room exactly what the true answer was.
Did you tell anyone at the FBI that all FBI employees who they identified who had worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
I would never tell anyone at the FBI that they're being removed for basically their case assignments.
Hear that word, basically. It arrived the same way alone did, tucked into a denial. I would never tell anyone they are being removed for basically their case assignments. That word does not belong in a clean denial. It belongs in a hedged one. It says, I would never say it exactly that way. Not, it never happened. Just, I would never use those basic terms. That is the third quiet part word. 3 different moments, 3 separate qualifiers, each one quietly saying what his full sentences could not.
Because this is in the complaint against you, Mr. Patel. So you're saying Mr. Driscoll and others are liars?
I'm not going to address the complaint in the ongoing...
Brian Driscoll, former acting director of the FBI, his formal complaint, filed in federal court, alleges that Patel communicated directly that his own job depended on removing agents who had worked on cases against the president. When Schiff offered Patel the chance to call Driscoll a liar, under oath on the record, Patel said he would not address the complaint. He did not say Driscoll was wrong. He did not say it did not happen. He said he would not address it. There is a difference between cannot and will not. Patel chose will not.
I guess you're not wanting to answer the question. So let me move on. Let me move on to the Epstein files.
The first chapter closes with Patel unable to finish a sentence in direct response to a direct question. Schiff turns the page because the second chapter is about something Patel has said a great deal about in public. Before he had this job, he told a national radio audience that Epstein's black book was under the direct control of the FBI director. He said it with confidence. Now he is the director. Schiff came to find out whether that was true.
You said you're the most transparent FBI director in history, so I'm going to put you to the test. In 2024, you were asked by Glenn Beck about Epstein's black book. And you said, he asked, who has Jeffrey Epstein's black book? And you said, black book FBI. And he said, but who? That is, I mean theirs. And you said, oh, that's under the direct control of the director of the FBI. That's what you said. Was that true, Mr. Patel?
I'll rely on you quoting it accurately.
He relied on Schiff quoting him accurately, not, yes, I said that, and it was true, not, I may have misspoken. He accepted the quote as given and declined to affirm its truth. A man with nothing to hide about his 2024 statement simply confirms it. Patel could not.
Was it true that the black book, Epstein's black book, was in the possession of the FBI director?
The black book was in the possession of the FBI.
Okay, so now that you're the FBI director, you have possession of the black book, right?
That index has been released.
In 2024, he said, direct control of the director. In 2025, under oath, he says, possession of the FBI. One word is a person. One word is an institution. The accountability quietly shifted from him to an organization. The same move alone made. The same move basically made. A qualifying substitution that keeps the statement technically defensible while walking away from everything it once implied.
So is it your testimony today that in all the Epstein files, that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked no one to anyone but himself? Is that your testimony, Mr.
I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic anyone else.
Did he traffic any young woman to someone other than himself? That was Mr. Kennedy's question.
The information that 3 administrations have had access to have made determinations that there are no investigative leads that were credible to prosecute and investigate any others.
Because there are victims like Virginia Guifer who have testified otherwise, who have said otherwise, and you're telling the American people today that the Epstein list is a single name and it's Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we're to believe?
That's not what I'm saying. That's what you're saying. And you can say whatever you...
Virginia Giuffre testified under oath in federal court. She named billionaires, politicians, and royalty. Her account is sworn public record. And yet the man who controls the files that contain victim statements, naming those powerful men, points to 3 prior administrations as his shield. None of those 3 administrations spent years in public promising to expose Epstein's network. Kash Patel did. Now that he has the files and the authority, the answer is still the same. Nothing credible. Go read it yourself. But I will not name a single name.
When Todd Blanche went to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, she said, and some are in your cabinet who you value as your co-workers and, you know, would be with him if he was a creep or because they wanted sexual favors. A man wants sexual favors, he will find that. They didn't have to come to Epstein for that. And the next question Todd Blanche, the president's former criminal defense lawyer, asked is not who in the cabinet, who are you referring to? His question is, so when's the last time you think you were with Mr. Epstein when he got a massage? So let me ask you, who are those cabinet members that Ghislaine Maxwell was referring to that were part of this cast of characters associated with Mr. Epstein? Who are they?
The Deputy Attorney General took the aggressive step that no one else did and interviewed Ms. Maxwell for 2 days, and we released the entirety of that transcript.
Ghislaine Maxwell is a convicted sex trafficker, serving 20 years in federal prison. In a 2-day interview with the Deputy Attorney General, she described sitting cabinet members as part of Epstein's inner circle. The follow-up question from the president's own former personal attorney was not, who are they? It was about massages. When Schiff asked Patel, the FBI director who was in that room, to name those cabinet members, Patel praised the DAG for doing the interview. He pointed to the transcript. He said the public can read it. What he would not do, under oath before the Senate, was say one name. And then something happened after that interview that Schiff was not about to ignore.
One last question, because you clearly won't tell us the cabinet members associated with Mr. Epstein. Let me ask you one last question. And that is, right after she gives this testimony in front of an FBI agent, among others, she's transferred to a minimum security prison not suitable for a sex offender like herself. Who made that decision and why?
The Bureau of Prisons.
The Bureau of Decisions made it in
prisons.
The Bureau of Prisons decided on their own, without any consultation with Blanche or anyone else, that they were going to suddenly, after this interview, completely unrelated to this interview, completely unrelated to anything she said, move her to a prison not suitable for a sex offender. You want the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No.
The timeline. Maxwell names sitting cabinet members. The interview ends. She is immediately transferred to a facility federal guidelines do not typically designate for convicted sex traffickers. Patel is asked who made that call. 3 words. The Bureau of Prisons. He is pressed on the timing. He does not defend it. He does not explain the sequence. He does not say Maxwell's cabinet claim was false. He pivots. He tells Schiff what the American people believe. And then he snaps.
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of inmates. What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform.
Point of order.
But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
Be quiet.
There's the snap. The FBI director, under oath, before the body that confirmed him, called a sitting United States senator the biggest fraud in that chamber's history because a question about Ghislaine Maxwell's prison transfer was too difficult to answer with a straight sentence. That is the payoff of this hearing, not the screaming itself. The reason for it, a man who has clean answers does not scream. He answers. Patel screamed because by the time Senator Schiff asked about that prison transfer, every other question had already been answered by the words Patel chose when he thought he was being careful. The word alone used twice. The word basically used once. The word trap applied to a yes or no question. 3 words, 3 separate moments. 3 times the quiet part slipped out while the man speaking it believed he was still in control. According to his own testimony today, no one was fired for case assignments alone. He would never say they were removed for basically their case assignments, and a direct question about it is a trap. The record shows exactly what it shows. 33,000 pages released, not one cabinet name, not one yes or no answer given, not one person called a liar by name, just insults from a man who promised there would be none of this and then delivered all of it.